guardrail post and oversaw construction of our massive new public works garage. It's a beauty, by the way. And whereas Joe survived with 9 first selectmen, 5 town administrators, and countless Board of Finance members, not to mention the 36 years of budget review meetings he had to sit through, and whereas the town is beyond thankful for Joe and the DPW's countless adept responses to numerous emergency situations, a few of them this year, such as hurricanes, snowstorms, microbursts, nor'easters, power outages, and a lone tree that decided to fall into the street for no apparent reason. And whereas Joe's personal attributes include his love of motorcycles and cars, bicycling, music, cigars, baseball in his spare time, Joe was even an assistant coach for the high school baseball team, and his ability to always whistle his way down the halls of town hall. And whereas the town of Weston is appreciative of Joe R. Lametta Jr.'s dedication and commitment to the town of Weston and its community, and now, therefore, I, Chris Spalding, First Selectman of the town of Weston, Connecticut, do hereby proclaim August 3rd, 2018 as Joseph R. Lametta Jr. Appreciation Day. And I'll finish up with in Weston, Connecticut, and call upon families, schools, businesses, and institutions to join me in recognizing and thanking him for many contributions to our community. Witness my hand in the seal of town of Weston this 3rd day of August 2018, me. So again, thank you, Joe. Words don't do justice to our level of appreciation for you. And we should probably stop cheating out and get these things framed at some point. By the way, that was a suggestion of your list. I would never suggest anything that costs more money. By the way, everybody get back to eating, get back to the music. The roasting's going to come in a little while.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you got something? Come on up. We'll make one exception.
What? You have?
Mita?
This is my girlfriend, by the way, everyone, Mr. Schroeder. It's been a secret for a while, but the cat's out of the bag now, so you need that one.
Oh, my name is Mita Schroeder, and I've been a citizen of Weston for 40 years. And I met Joe, where everybody meets everybody else at Peter's Market. And what a wonderful, exciting situation this has become. He's just terrific. One of my happiest memories is coming out of the hardware store, Joe coming out of Peter's Market on one of those drop-dead 10 best days in Weston when it's all that blue sky and wonderful air, and he's whistling that happy tune just to himself. It was really quite something. I live, and it's a wonderful memory. Whistle. There you go. I love theater and I love to be out and about at night, and so that means I have to come home and drive home, back from wherever I am into Weston. And boy, in the winter, when you come through Fairfield and Westport, or you're coming from Easton, and you're picking your way through those icy roads, boy, when you hit the Weston border and it's all clear, yes, that's Joe. I asked Joe, really point blank a few months ago, what his favorite road was in Weston. And you know what he said? All of the roads are my favorite roads. I said, well, what if you had to just pick one? Well, I guess I would pick Norfield Road because it goes to Town Hall. What a nice thing to say. But look what else it does. I hope you all can see this. This is the tree. With the sign. This is from all of us citizens, Joe, right from our heart.
It's really, really nice. Really nice.
Thank you.
So everyone enjoy. People will be back to say a whole lot more in a little while.
Yep.
Have fun.
Me too. Thank you, Mr. Schroeder. Really appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that hug. I appreciate it very much. Donald wants to say something. I am going to say something about you guys because you are a special group of guys. But Don's going to say something first, and I don't know if anyone else does, but here you go, Don. I think I have to come a little closer. Folks,
you know, can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. I've been here 35 years, and I know Joe. And I have one story about Joe. A couple of years back, forget the year, we had a 24-hour snowstorm. And I know the great highway department and snow guys, and they work gloriously to get the roads ready. And the next morning, I got to town hall, and here was Joe walking up the steps to see the selectmen what to do. And Joe, are you going to tell them about the good job the boys did last night and how good the town is? No. Somebody came in this morning and complained about me. I said, you got to be kidding. What happened? Well, this morning, the guy tried to get out of his driveway, and there was 6 feet of snow piled up all the way back to the house in the driveway. He was a guy that was a real pain, and nobody liked him. So in the middle of the snowstorm, some great resident of the town packed up his driveway so he couldn't get out, but he came in and blamed the highway department. And Joe was on the carpet, and he had to go out. I don't know whether you cleaned it or not. I think somebody finally gave him a shovel, and he had to do it. But let me tell you, in all of the years I've lived here, between the snowplow gang, the highway department gang, the road gang, and even the tree gang, when he became a tree warden for a while, did one hell of a job, and he deserves all of the credit for the town that you all live in and love.
You betcha.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Don, thank you very much. Is there anyone else that wants to say anything out there? Is John, Randy, is John here someplace so we can turn this so it doesn't...
Test 1, 2. It works. Okay, Matt, come on. Okay, sorry, I thought that's where else does it go?
Take it off.
Okay.
Hold on. Everyone, this is my daughter Christine, my son Matt. You gotta know who's speaking.
I would have introduced myself, but not gonna make this long. Just want to say we're so proud of you, Dad. 40 years, I can't even fathom that personally, especially because I'm in a transitional phase right now. So, and I was only working for 6 years. So I was like, Dad, we're both retired. Like, this is so exciting. And he's like, get your ass to work. So, okay, I will. There is one person that's not here. There's a lot of people that I'm sure couldn't make it, but there's one person, my grandpa, my dad's dad, that I know would love to be here and see this and how far his son came along and the amount of people in his life that just clearly adore him, I think. And I just want to say, like, I'm acknowledging that, and we miss Grandpa, and I know he's looking down on this right now, and he's so proud of you, Dad. I'm very proud of you, but I'm so excited that you can now finally do whatever your heart desires. We can do it together. Hopefully, just for like I think 1 more month. But again, just very proud, Matt. We love you, Dad. Really happy for you. I'm sorry? Even though he ruined Christmas. Okay, fine, I'll tell the story. All right, so anyone who knows my father, which is clearly everyone in this room. I don't think he's ever not had a mustache, I say mustache, ever, right? Like he's never not had it. And one morning he woke up and it happened to be Christmas morning and he decided that day he was gonna shave it. So he shaved his mustache off and he came into the room and my beautiful mother, who's standing right there, flipped out and told him that he had ruined Christmas. His mustache was gone. So that's what Mr. Sorbo was talking about, but you'll notice that the mustache has never not been gone since then, and it will be there forever.
We found out that he did not have an upper lip at all, so it was pretty bad.
That's still quite
It was scary, right?
It was different. We didn't recognize it. We love you.
Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you very much. Is that it? Okay. Tom?
I think he left.
Tom left? No, I just saw him walking around over here.
Dad, do you have anything to say?
I do. I do have a couple of things to say.
Let's say a few words. Here he is. Here comes Tom.
There's Tom. Tom didn't.
I want to say, first of all, it's wonderful that everybody came out tonight. It's great to have a sense of community in honor of our long-serving public servant here. We're really proud of you. The reason I am here tonight is that although I'm only a short part of your career, I had the pleasure of working with you, and I had the pleasure of calling you. With some of those calls like Don was just talking about, why isn't my driveway the first driveway to be plowed in a snowstorm? So I call up Joe, and Joe always had very polite, he held his tongue, and he'd tell me how to handle it. So I really needed you. You were great when I had those calls, and I would say that Joe really loves this town, as we all do, and it was very apparent in the way he worked at Town Hall. As I would say about the other people who work in Town Hall, you all love the town and we appreciate you. So many happy returns of your retirement, and good to see you.
They make you MC your own gig?
I know, really. Well, they know I'm usually doing it, so. But everyone, Tom Landry, former town administrator and very good friend of mine, and everyone knows Tom.
Good evening. Who recognizes me without a necktie? Anybody? So, I know this is about Joe, but let me just take 20 seconds. Say, all of you who took the time to tell me tonight I look great, thank you. It turns out, see, it's been 18 months. I loved working for you guys. I'm sure Joe loves working for you guys, but it's not like it's a stress-free endeavor. So, and I was only here 15 years. So think a year from now, when you see Joe next summer, how great he's gonna look. And, you know, there's a lot of room for improvement there, let's face it. So I thank all of you, and I did just want to say one thing. Somebody earlier commended Joe, I don't know if it was the meaning, but about, you know, doing the great work for the roads for all that time, and that's certainly true, credit well deserved, but, you know, there's a bunch of other guys in that department that work just as hard, and a bunch of them are here tonight. And, you know, they deserve some credit. If I asked you what's the biggest investment this community has, most of you would probably say all those buildings behind us. But most of you would be wrong. That's not it. It really is the road network. It is the roads, the drainage, all of that stuff. And when Chris read earlier that Joe spent $13 million over those years, I think it was a typo. He overspent $13 million. The road stuff was way more expensive than that. I mean, just in my time, it was way more expensive than that. But it's a big responsibility. I was always comfortable in that Joe was very serious and conscientious about it. I think it's very fashionable today to think, government employees, they're a bunch of hacks, they're a bunch of bums, all they're doing is sitting around worrying about their pension. Let me tell you, not with him, okay? And I don't think with most of the folks that you have actually in this employee force, but you shouldn't feel grateful. I mean, you paid for it, but I do want you to recognize and appreciate what went in there. And when I was joking earlier about a little bit of a stress load, Joe's a very conscientious employee. He got a lot more late night phone calls than I did, and he felt that. He carried that around. He took that responsibility seriously for you and for those guys that work for him and for that public service that he's responsible for. So we can all be replaced, I suppose. I was, right? So, not you. But I think that next crop of folks, honestly, I have to say that level of ownership, that level of conscientiousness in those employees, I don't know. Millennials, I couldn't say anything good about any of them. It's not like I want to deal with them. Maybe they'll figure it out eventually. But it's my pleasure tonight to say thanks to Joe for all that time, for all that really hard work. I can tell you from the inside, that he was very serious about it, very conscientious about it, and he loves spending your money, believe you me. That's it. Good night, Joe. I gotta go.
Wow. Well, okay, hold on, Missy, 1 second. Tom, I tell you, I was a little freaked out because I thought you were going to tell him about the 100,000 I overspent in the paving budget that time. You had to cover up. I don't know how you did that.
Hi, my name is Missy. I'm a homeowner, 30 years in Weston, and I just want to say that Joe Lametta has been the greatest thing that ever happened to this town. His guys have done such great work here. They plow the roads, they mow, they just hold your hand through every little problem. They fix drainage ditches, they make bridges. These guys work so hard for us. I don't care what our taxes are. These guys are worth their weight in gold, and Joe Lametta has been at the helm, running this whole department for 40 years. He is the man, he's our man, and I'm so sorry to see you go.
Oh, okay. Margaret, Ellen, stay here.
I will. I'm just going to
See how when you're working in a town like Weston, you know everybody by their first name. Everybody knows you.
Yeah, all right. Since you know my name, I'm Margaret Rudenberg, 15 Wilson Road. Oh, this isn't a town meeting. That's right. I wanted you to know that before I moved to Weston, I was talking to a doctor, and I said, "Well, we're going to be moving, and we're moving to Weston." And he said, "Oh, they have great roads."
I'm Ellen McCormick, and I work at the Lashottown Farm, and I just cannot tell you how grateful I am to Joe Lametta and his crew. And I don't know everyone's name. I know you. Joe, thank you. And I'm sorry that I don't know of course, Pete. And so many men who have really almost sculpted Lashott at this point. You did that beautiful job at the greenhouse of making it look beautiful. He is an artist on the machinery that he uses. It's just incredible. I keep saying that because it's very true. But the one other thing I want to say at LaShot is that Joe has come to our rescue on many occasions for projects that we needed to do. And what I keep telling him is that he underpromised and over-delivered every single time. And that's Joe Lametta. Thank you.
I'm just Hi, Ed. Join in. Okay. Now the trouble starts.
I live right across the street from Town Garage, and we're going to sell our house tomorrow. We built a barn on our property, and Joe came by. He was in charge of the construction because all you people had such nice things to say about Joe, how hard he worked. I'm blowing his cover. He had a room in our garage, in the barn. He had a color TV. He never worked. He was over at our place sleeping while the other guys were out there plowing the road. Joe, I'm sorry.
You always asked me who I was, but...
Well, I knew he was good. He was by himself.
He's at my house.
I was at Missy's house sometimes, too.
We share with Missy.
It was more fun at Missy's house, though.
On your corner.
Doctor.
You designed the building, didn't you?
I had a big part of designing the new Public Works Department. And thank you to all the people that did that many years ago, because it was much needed, and we appreciate it very much. If you knew the old town barn, it was a old pole barn, and it was just nothing but trouble. But anyway, all you good people, put your heads together and decided to do that for the DPW department, and I'm very grateful for that. Is there anyone else that wants to, little skewer into the boss before? Okay, good. When I'm going to sit down for this, and I'm going to have to read this because I'm good at ad-libbing, but I can't ad-lib this stuff because it's too important. But a lot of people, when you retire, they come up to you and you say, so, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you retire, Joe? Oh, you got to work. You got to work. You got to do something. And I look at them, and I'm trying to figure out what to say, and I say, if I was going to retire, I would work. I wouldn't retire. And I like to say that Tom Landry, one of the guys here who just spoke, I'm just going to say what he used to say. Tom would say when someone asked him, what are you going to do when you retire? Well, Tom would say, any gosh darn thing I want. So that's usually what I tell him, and the conversation ends there. Of course, when Tom said that, it was a little more eloquent than that. So you know how Tom is speaking. And then the other thing is, people say, Joe, what did you do? What did you do on 40 years, in the town of Weston? And Wendy and everyone would say, you got the easiest job in the world, Joe. You got it made, right? So when people say that to me, this is what I tell them. I said, what you do is you deal with over 600 major snowstorms, and you plow over 100 feet of snow. Right. That's what you guys did. You oversee the placement of 260,000 tons of asphalt on our town roads. You administer and direct more than $64 million in budget requests, and that's no joke. You sign enough time cards, and we're still doing time cards, you can get to the moon and back with them. You respond to more than 26,000 citizen complaints, and I went to every one of those myself. And here's the bad one. You're not going to like to hear this one, but you also spend over $40,000 on coffee every morning. I wish I had a lot of that money back. Thank you, really, for everyone coming out here. I got a lot of friends and a lot of neighbors. It's very humbling and very honored to show all the support that you show me today. Of course, thank you to the town of Weston for this opportunity that you gave me 40 years ago. It's going to be very, very difficult to leave a place that I call home for so long. I would also like to thank all the 9 First Select men and women that have worked for during my tenure here in Weston. I'm going to name them all because they were so important. There's F. Donald McCormick, Sue Hutchinson, Helen Speck, George Gadara, Woody Bliss, Hal Shupak, Gail Weinstein, Nina Daniels, and Chris Spalding, who's our selected today. You guys have always supported the DPW, and you had great confidence and respect in what we do as a team. There are also many second and third selectmen, and I'd like to thank them for all their time. A lot of these guys are volunteers. I'd like to thank the various Board of Finance members that have supported me over the years. You showed that great things can be accomplished while still being fiscally responsible, year in and year out. It even prompted one prominent board member to state, "You manage with no drama, Joe," and that always helps. I've also worked with several town administrators. You have been my greatest ally and a major go-between with the public and the many boards and commissions that we deal with on a daily basis. You had great municipal knowledge and confidence in my ability to manage a large budget that best suits the public. But you made me hold the DPW to a very high standard, and that's not always easy to do. Thanks to all the other departments that I worked so closely with over the years. It is with this teamwork that we accomplished many great things, some of which were done through much adversity. I'd like to thank Dave Coley and Ed Gomo, I wish he was here, the original wearer of many hats, for giving me this great opportunity many years ago. Thank you to the town hall crew. I love you guys. You're always there for me. And especially you ladies. I'm going to truly, truly miss all your beautiful smiles. I'm sorry. As a DPW director, you usually get all the praise. And a lot of funny things have been said tonight, but I have to recognize the 12 men that do all the work day to day. They keep your roads safe in the winter, clean all summer, the equipment running smooth, and present a clean transfer station and recycling center so that the wonderful residents can mingle on a Saturday morning. And they do it by my mantra: take care of this town like you live here. You are the ones that make it happen with dedication and passion. And I always remember as a manager, I can't soar like an eagle if I'm working with a bunch of turkeys. Please continue to support your DPW. As public works officials and residents, you have a great investment in Weston's infrastructure system, and they are a vital cog in what makes this town special. I will miss all of you every day. And please, everyone, I get the praise. These are the guys that do the work. Thank you very much for those guys. Most of you are here, to all the fine residents of Weston. You are the town's most valuable asset, and the reason I stayed here so long. For without your vote of confidence, Weston would not be the forward-thinking town that it is. I always look forward to addressing people's concerns because I look forward to making a new friend. That friendship was usually followed by a thank you note. Sorry.
Cookies.
Plate of cookies, a cake, or sometimes a 6-pack of beer. Those friendships have lasted many years. Some of them are no longer with us. They are memories that I cherish for years. In all the years that I have been DPW director, you have never, ever once questioned my budget, which is an amazing accomplishment. You are a bipartisan group, just like our town fathers. Together, you work through adversity to make Weston a special place. One of the memories that I share from time to time is from the old Norfield Grange. Some of you know what that is, some don't. As I drove in early one morning to enter some vegetables in the fair, the scene was out of a normal Rockwell painting. The sun was coming up, just a little bit of haze in the air. Children were running with their pets, kids were on their bicycle, roosters and hens were running around. Adults were getting ready, putting up the flag, the buntings were up. I drove in there, and that memory sticks in my head. To me, that is the epitome of life in a town known as Weston, Connecticut.
Yes.
Don't ever give that up. I will miss all of you. I'd like to go on. I have many, many, many stories I could tell. Just don't have the time, but I will leave you with this. Respect each other. Be kind to each other. Be kind to your town officials, as some of them are volunteers. They hear what you're saying. God bless you. God bless the town of Weston. And God bless America. Thank you, Randy, for all your hard work. You did a lot. Thank you, John. Thank you, Chris Spalding. Thank you to all the girls in the town hall for helping out. I'm going to miss you. And thank you to this historic Norfield church for this great venue. God bless all of you. Thank you very much. Anything I friggin' want. Thank you, Tom Landry, for that. Okay. I'm going to make a wish for you too. Just one quick thing, too. John LaCava and his group. John, what is the band called?
Blue Steve. You were going to rename it the Joe Lametta.
The Joe Lametta Memorial Band. This is Blue Steve. If anybody has a little party or anything like that, get them. They're great. They play down at the Sunset Grill. They're a house band. It's a beautiful venue. We're going to play a little bit longer. Please stay. Have a little fun. And thank you everything. I love Weston. God bless you all.
I want to say one more thing. I've known Joe since I was 8 years old. He gave my father a job. He gave my uncle a job. He hired me. I've been here 18 years. You couldn't ask for a better boss. And I travel the same exact plow route my father did for 25 years. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. I love all you guys. You're the best, man. That's what makes it happen. Thank you. Enough of this stuff. Enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.